And just realized for that intro there was no music, but that's okay. Don't always hear anyway. Sorry, VOD viewers. You got screwed and that was on me. I don't even remember why the music was down so much. Anyway. Alright, so, before we get proper traffic in here. Alright, so we're going to be painting. So I did a goof. I was, let's see. So a while ago, maybe like no, it was over a month ago because last month I was paying for that tournament. So a couple months ago I painted this place goes Apothecary, and if you look closely you'll notice that something's missing up here. Yes, it is a lamp. This lamp's supposed to be up here, which I just found when I was going through, I was cleaning up my space and putting some minis away and all kinds of funness. And as, you know, this being a commission, I should probably paint the entire thing. I did tell him a while ago when I finished the model that I couldn't find it, so I mean, he's not expecting it, but yeah, we probably should be honest about this. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop it on a nail, and we're gonna paint that today. As I can't imagine this thing will take me more than this stream to paint, and we can actually consider Apothecary properly doing enough to take new pictures and yada. It'll be fun. Anyway, so I got one of my corks here, which by the way, this is how I paint all my sub assemblies for those that haven't been paying attention. Just with my palette out of frame. It's just it's a wine cork with a quarter glued on the bottom and a carpenter nail stuck through the top, which I glue stuff to. Makes it real easy, especially when painting a lot of pieces at once. I mean, most people that have been watching the stream for any significant amount of time have seen a bunch of Wet Scars pieces on them. I'm just gonna glue that on. Yeah, it's Friday. Holy crap, the week is gone. Well, people have cool plans for the weekend. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Well, I know a couple things I'm doing this weekend. It's nothing like... I'm more excited about it today. I got news for later today. I'll get to that. Now tomorrow I have a business meeting that'll be for only a couple hours. Oh, and we're doing a gaming stream tomorrow. We're gonna do. I'm gonna stream some gaming for the first time. I'm gonna be playing some Enlisted at the same time as the second stream normally is. So 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. This is not attaching. It doesn't want. I need to prep this more, I suppose. 8 to 10 Eastern, or when my second stream normally is. I'm gonna be streaming some Enlisted, just to mix some stuff up. I got an idea the other day, but I gotta do a lot more setup for this, which is why it's not gonna be this Saturday. And the Saturdays aren't gonna be super regular for now. They're just gonna be kind of like when I can, because I consistently have stuff going on the weekends. I'm thinking of doing a Elden Ring playthrough on the gaming streams, which I've already played through Elden Ring. Partially a few times, but I've done an entire one where I did like most everything. Nah. I'm gonna be going through it with at least one, if not a couple randomizers going, and we're gonna turn into mayhem. I'm gonna pop this up like this because I'm just doing a bunch of like modeling right now. I did post in my Discord. I know I posted in JW Mentions Discord. That was okay. Yeah, no, I did. I posted in my own Discord. There's a basically tabletop Discord, which that should work. Or did I not set that up? I did not set that up. I'm brilliant. I'll have to set that up. I haven't set that up for this afternoon because this afternoon we got a bunch of crazy stuff going on. Not this afternoon. Tonight we got a lot of stuff going on. The second stream, tonight's 8 to 10 stream, I got something special going on. So we're not going to be painting, or at least not much. Maybe the second half will be painting. The first half, we're going to be having a guest on, and I'm going to be doing some special stuff. So I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of how I take pictures of my minis and a bunch of picture taking theory that I've learned over my years of taking miniature pics. 3 different ways of approaching how you take pictures of your miniatures, and then how I go through my post-production process. And I'm going to be doing that with none other than Mini Ruckus as a guest appearance. Not just like in chat, but in voice, will actually be speaking to me. So it'll be kind of a hangout, kind of a tutorial, which I will probably render down into something useful for like YouTube/Instagram that people can watch later. So I know people want to know more about like taking pictures. I mean, you want to get your stuff to look better in like overnight, take better pictures. Because between you and me, honestly, like, holy crap, some of these pictures are bad. It's like we can't see how cool your model is if just the slightest bit of gloss or too much light has your mini like glowing, which is sheer white light. Like we can't see your highlights. Nothing. It's all garbage. So all right. So I need to. I put my airbrushing box up there because I actually put it away. Oh, just knocked the piece over. This is gonna be quick, so I'm not gonna bother masking it up. I mask up when I do like big priming sessions. This is not gonna be that. This is gonna take all of a couple minutes, which I am gonna mute for because I know my compressor comes off pretty loud. Nice, it's actually a pretty good view. Sweet. Alright, so enjoy the visual and I'll pump up the music a little bit. Hey Venom. Right, let me turn the music down a little bit so I can talk. Hey. Welcome to the afternoon stream. Catch up what's going on. I am currently airbrushing to prep an Apothecary's lamp, because the Apothecary that you may or may not have seen on Ruckus's stream, this guy, I found his lamp. I was cleaning up like my man chairs and unpacking some stuff and moving stuff around on my shelves, and I found the bits. So now I'm going to paint it, because seeing as he is a commission, he should probably be in one piece. I'm just muting my mic while I do the airbrushing, which shouldn't be much longer, and then that'll be good to chat up. So just another couple minutes to do this. Well, for airbrushing, hey Gosu! Hey, we're both airbrushing. Not that you can hear me, Gosu, but you know, I'll be here when you get back. So Venom, all I'm doing right now is priming and base coating, which I'm base coating poorly because I over-thinned it. In time, I'll be doing more extensive airbrushing stuff. This is just a quick thing just to do like the 80% of the work kind of deal, and then I go into details with a brush. I'm not even doing that particularly well because I got this one section on it that I have like, I over-thinned it. Let's see if I can get it on a cam here. The under part there, if I can get it to focus. Focus, damn you. Yeah, it's all meh on the bottom there because I keep it's too liquidy, so I keep blowing it like off the surface. So I gotta fix that. Let's get you there. Okay, now you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, that should be ready to go now. Okay. Alright. By the way, I have no idea what sound it makes every time I mute and unmute my microphone. If that is like absurdly, like an absurd sound, I apologize. It keeps doing some weird thing on the audio the audio meter. I don't know what it actually sounds like. Oh great, awesome. So it's just the meter like being weird. I will totally take it. All right, so that's actually just the airbrushing. That's done now. It looks metallic. Looks like steel. So, hello there. What's up, former? You have returned. I don't know. Someone says hello there. I go full Obi-Wan Kenobi immediately. There's no hesitation. Just straight up. I gotta pump this out here. Okay. I will Yeah, right? I mean, you can't... I can't complain about going full Obi-Wan Kenobi at any given time. It could definitely be worse. Alright. I will properly clean my airbrush after the stream. Along with many other things I have to do in preparation for tonight. Because tonight, I know we have some people here. Venom knows. I hope Gosu's listening, because they'd probably be interested. Although Gosu is in the Discord, so they should have seen my announcement message. Anyway, we're doing a special stream for the second stream. Actually, now we're painting. It's actually gonna be here. I'm gonna be doing a stream, or at least the first hour of the 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern stream. Just going over photographing minis in post-production, and I'm going to have as a guest Mini Ruckus of Mini Ruckus. Actually, that's just his name. That's just his channel name. Anyway, he'll be here tonight, hanging out in voice, chilling, going back and forth, asking questions. Because actually, that's what the at least going over, like, asking how to take pictures was initially his prompt, and then I just ran with it. Like, hey, let's just turn it into a whole thing where I give a full tutorial. That'll be great. So I'll be tonight. Oh yeah, I have the focus on manual. Let's pull that to where you guys can actually see it. Sweet. I think it'll be very fun. My only disappointment is I only get him for half my stream, because his stream starts an hour into mine. Which, I mean, works on the fact like I planned on rating him already. But, whatever happens. I need to move my mat here so I'm gonna put my elbow. Alright, so we're gonna be painting this. Goes on here. Fortunately, it's pretty raised. I don't think I have to really add any, like, I don't have to go back and OSL anything on the guy at all. I think I can I think the lamp is fully within itself. I should take notice of how I did the other arm, so it makes sense. The bottom bits are white, that's fine. And then mostly steel with some copper. Cool. And then, we actually do the light. Question is, what kind of light should be on this guy? I'm kind of thinking green, because the green pops out on the other bits, and now you won't have so much green on this side. Where is the focus range? Here we go. You won't have so much green on this side. I mean, you have dark green over here, but I think light green up here will really pop it out and make that circle of focus. That's what we'll do. I'm going to switch the focus back to auto, because this is ticking me up here. I'll just manually set the lighting settings so my light isn't washing it out. Alright, cool deal. Let's get started. I'm gonna start the white. The hardest bit first. Should I get a new sheet? Maybe. No, there's white already on here. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna grab a size 0. I would do a size 1, but I haven't replaced my size 1 yet. Because it needs to be replaced. because I screwed it up. Hey, just so everyone knows, getting any amount of glue in your bristles, bad idea. It wasn't on purpose, but I did it. It happened. It wasn't great. This was a bunch of airbrush flow improver. Not anymore, so I'm gonna fix that. Airbrush flow improver, for those that don't know, is great as a thinner because, well, it is like a medium in a sense, and that it's something that the pigment sits in without adding color itself. What it does, in addition to thinning, is that it removes all surface tension. So if you get it really liquidy, you know, really thin, it will still only go where you put the brush. It won't grab onto things, which makes it really good for freehanding. But also, I like to use it in general just because then I don't have to worry about it hopping to other items involved. Nope, that's all white. It's the whole base is white. It's fine. So the white I'm using is Army Painter Matte White, which is what I use as the base coat for all the White Scars stuff. And this will effectively just be the White Scars white recipe, although because it's so small, I mean, I'll go through all the paints, but I don't think you'll really actually see all of it. Like, take real effect. It's like... It's got like a hip-hop beat, or electronica beat, with like an almost country-like melody. This is pretty cool. I'll turn this up a little bit. I am pretty certain as fingering on that guitar, as opposed to using a pick, on an electric acoustic, if I had to guess. I know electric acoustic doesn't make sense, but I mean, it makes sense. It is a thing. And I only know that because I used to play guitar. I would like to again play guitar, I don't know, haven't... I just dipped my finger in blue ink. Nice. I haven't really figured out how to shove into my schedule in a way that like kind of makes sense. Anyway, how is everyone doing? Since we've gotten a few people in here. Actually a pretty decent stream by my standards so far, population wise. Anyone got any fun plans for the weekend? I know I've got doing my first gaming stream tomorrow night, at least 8 to 10 Eastern. Maybe that one I'll just go until it doesn't make sense to go any further. I'll be playing some Enlisted. Just seeing where adding gaming gets me. Mix it up a little bit. And hoping I get better games than the last couple games I played with Enlisted. I played a little bit last night. Like, I swear the oh, nice. Sunday's my D&D game. D&D day. I have 2 games on Sundays. What do you play, Former? What edition? What classes? Or, you know, characters? I demand details. Dude, we could get deep into a D&D conversation. Well, I don't know about AK, but I can. I can. Sink my teeth into that convo. 5e, play the most powerful class. So Ranger or Monk? Is it Ranger or Monk? Ah, yes, you play God. Very good. Just started DMing my first homebrew 2 weeks ago, but I played Fighter and prior. Cool, cool. I started really heavy on rogues. Like, I played several campaigns as a rogue. And then I got into a game like 6 years ago. And I played a cleric. And I am still playing that campaign today. I am level 11 and it is cool. But my new favorite thing is it took me 2 campaigns to find a campaign well, I'm just joining this campaign. I had another campaign before that, but I just started DMing Curse of Strahd by his homebrew campaign this point. Yeah, that as it should be, I think. I actually avoid what you call it, campaigns based on modules. I can't tell you why, but I really want homebrew experiences. I think it's just, it's better. It's like it's true D&D. I know it sounds like almost hipsterish, but I'm like, no, it's gotta be a homebrew. I think it's also partially because I prefer long form open world stuff. Kind of do. It took us 7 years to get through Rise of Tiamat, and I'm the sole original survivor of Thondra, the giant, the half-orc fighter. Oh, I'm the sole survivor. Thondra, the giant, the half-orc fighter. Is that a play on, what's his name? Andre the Giant? Yeah, it's gotta be. Thondra? Yeah. You played Andre the Giant. That's pretty funny. He would be a half-orc. I had to slap quick game together because our DM got row and I felt responsibility to keep our fire burning. Fair. The only thing I've thought about DMing for years. The thing that keeps me back is scheduling. I have so many projects ongoing as is. Like, I can barely keep up with what I'm currently doing. If I could automate / well, okay, it's a couple of things I'm doing right now that I'm doing solely for money. If I made more money, I could drop those things. Then if I could automate / outsource some other things, then maybe I'd consider DMing, because I know the amount of work it takes, especially for someone like me who's gonna perfectionist the crap out of it and just gonna be like, I'm gonna create something absolutely like the best I can do artistically in like every way. Like I'm gonna pull out so many stops. I'm gonna make like custom baddies and like weird puzzles and story hooks and all this. Like, just go nuts. Just make a what do you call it? A free roam, whole world basically, just from scratch. I've had the ideas before. I have several ideas I could work off of. I don't have nearly the time to actually put into doing that consistently. That'd be worth it. The other thing that would hold me back is that I'd wanna turn into some kind of online like record thing. I want to turn everything into online record stuff. This is how I am. This ironically, for this being the most successful one yet, is my like 3rd attempt at online content creation, and this wasn't even the original goal. This started as me just painting my own army, then started doing commissions, then being like, people say I'm good at painting. Maybe I should start doing streaming and stuff to teach people how to paint, and maybe it'll help me get more commissions. Like, the goal wasn't even content creation this time. It's really funny. Usually prep for the same time as we play for every game, and most of that time is doing nothing. Oh, nice. Alright, so here's an example of an idea I've been playing with for years now. So, you have an empire, and it's got a border that's just like these nigh impenetrable mountains. So no one actually knows what's on the other side. But in the foothills of those mountains, they found a new strain of insert unobtainium metal. Like, you know, it's adamantium. They found an adamantium vein. Sure. Whatever. Not even the actual point. The party are various specialists that, for whatever reason, were contracted by the Empire to be part of the Imperial settlement meant to begin mining this vein. The Empire is at war, so the Empire is gonna, like, you know, push for as many of those resources as possible. Yes, sir. Use goofy wrestling names as NPCs usually. That's a person did from a cabbage farm way back, owned by Macho Man Randy Cabbage. A Sylvan cabbage farm on the outskirts of town. Oh man, I know some friends that would get a real laugh out of that. Macho Man Randy Cabbage. Good lord. Okay, so yeah, if you're a fighter, you're probably part of militia or like a contractor to boost a militia cheaply, you know, whatever. Healers, wizard, yeah, I can think, you know, I'm sure we can all think of different things you could be hired for that. I'm thinking now I am gonna swap out this sheet because I need other colors are on here and I don't have any room left. So I'm just gonna roll this up and get this out of here. Unfortunately, my wet palette is still quite moist from last night. Moist. Cabbage is the most powerful plant. Hey, nothing goes better with cabbage than cabbage. Learned that from Willy Wonka. Or, you know, the kid's mother anyway. I don't know why that quote is always stuck in my head. I watched that movie once, like 7-8 years ago. Still remember that perfectly. Anyway. Nothing goes better with cabbage than cabbage. Let's see. So everything goes fine first couple weeks. That you guys are you know the parties at let's say you guys. For first couple weeks, you guys do nothing but your normal jobs. You know, it's just whatever. It's just a cushy cushy gig. I want to say I probably used True Copper. Army Painted True Copper, we're going to be using. However, one night you start getting, let's see if I remember this correctly. You start getting invaded one night by ghosts. Like a lot of them. And I have to sit down and try to remember like all the exact details, but basically there's like 3 different main ways of dealing with the ghosts. Fighting them is the hardest one by a good margin. There is a version where you figure out the puzzle that involves you going out of town into the forest surrounding the settlements and getting the ghosts to settle down, and then I have to figure out a backup plan to get you to do what I want you to do. Which is actually head down into the mines to escape because you're otherwise cut off unless you make, you know, a frantic breakout action to get to the puzzle's solution. But I'm trying to get you to retreat into the mines. Because earlier that day in the mines, they made a breakthrough to a massive underground cave system. Yeah, full-on Minecraft cave system, like holy crap, it this never ends type cave system. How much of this do I want to make copper? I get a handle piece, and this plate up here maybe. Probably the wire too. The 2 wires here. Yes, yes. All right. So, not that I'm aware of. My I play D&D solely online. So like I don't think so. That would be ridiculous odds, and I'm pretty sure I would know because they would know because I use my basically tabletop is the name I use basically everywhere now. So they would know, and unless they're keeping it secret from me, nah. Besides, I've not started this campaign anyway. But, if a future player watches my VODs and finds this, I guess you'll know what's coming. If you're doing your research, I suppose. Ruined it for yourself. So the whole village evacuates into the mines, into this giant tunnel system guarded by the players and some other militia dudes. And I'd probably have, if none of the players came up with it, I'd probably have one of the NPCs suggested, like, what about that tunnel system? Maybe it goes somewhere. Yeah, I know, right? Turn back now, future players. So you go through the tunnel system, there's some struggles here and there. The big bit's when you get to the other side, because actually there is another side. You get to the other, side of said impenetrable mountain range. And it's like insane jungle. Like, you went from medieval Europe to like deep jungle Mexico. Oh, not even close to a one-shot. Because when you get there, you now have a whole village with you. With just, like, whatever they could grab. This now turns into a long-term, like, you're not only doing quests of finding out, like, exploring this and everywhere, you're helping this village set up and, like, defending them and getting them resources and eventually, like, building up enough of a presence and foothold to break through the tunnels backwards. Or to just start your own civilization. And there'll be other stuff over there, intelligent and otherwise. There'll be a number of big quests, like this whole big thing. I mean, you could just become emperors of a new empire if you wanted to go that route with this, starting with this little village. It'll take a little while, but I have a number of ideas on how to, like, for example, population growth. I have a couple ideas on that. Bonus points to necromancers. But, you know, you can become the undead empire. Which actually, like, is kind of a thing I've always wanted to do. My newer character that I started talking about a while ago is actually a necromancer wizard. Where he's like, he's a chaotic good necromancer. It's totally something he would do. Like, alright, we're gonna, you know, yes, there'll be normal people living here, but, like, we're gonna utilize the undead, which are either fully animated bones or people that wanted to be resurrected as undead with their souls still attached and be able to, like, work and serve and live just, like, forever. Just, you know, they're not fleshy anymore. So, you know, zombies aren't the greatest host, so we'll be looking at mostly skeletons. And, yeah, it's just kind of like a limited immortality where, like, you know, unless you get squashed, you know, you can just stop, yeah, necromancy servitors. Well, for the ones without soul attached, anyway. Ones with soul attached, basically you die when you decide to, and then we just, you know, snap the spell. Kind of deal. I'm gonna have to go back and redo it. It needs layers. More layers! This is why I don't actually brush on the white normally. I airbrush the matte white into place and then paint around it, but since this was like 90% metallic, I was just not gonna do that. Need more elbow. Oh, no wonder. Palette shifted to the right. So, yeah, it's one of my main ideas. Nice, farmer. I'm in the process of trying to print a bunch of terrain and make cooler pictures. However, my printer's giving me a hard time. Where is it? Oh. This is my first print since I set back up and got it, like, recalibrated and everything. As you can probably tell, it kind of stopped at a point. I'm currently thinking it might be my SD card, as I was doing some research earlier, and turns out that can actually screw up your... That can cause this. So I ordered some Amazon SD cards, like Amazon brand SD cards. I'll be here tomorrow, so I'll try again. But I got it running on a much smaller terrain piece as a test. But yeah, for Ender 3 Pro with like maximum detail I could get out of Ultimate Cure, it's actually ain't bad considering I've done like nothing really to clean it up. A little bit, like in theory, if this had worked, a little bit of scraping off some of the excess nonsense and then airbrush, wash, dry brush, and this would have looked pretty good. We're still making an e-shop called Palace Shaman selling 3D print minis. Okay, legit, former. Use the Linktree in a little bit up the chat to get into my Discord. I gotta set up the Discord command. It doesn't have a link in there right now. If you actually are gonna go through with that, I'm a web dev. That's my normal job right now. So, and I also do hosting. Like, pretty cheap. With a lot of the, like, obvious features like business emails and SSL and all that stuff. So if you legit want to do that, I can hook you up with like an actual website and stuff. We can talk numbers and everything. But yeah. In fact, go to my website, basicallytabletop.com, and you'll see kind of an idea of what that'll look like. I gotta get back to designing more merch. Probably won't send the lazy AF, but we'll get in touch with you if it will. Fair enough. So Venomrat said, our campaigns are just all of us BSing for 4 hours and playing seriously for 1 hour each session. And fair enough. I usually go for the heavy roleplay. I gotta set the focus to manual game, because it don't wanna focus crap. I like fairly serious players doing like heavy roleplay stuff. Like that Claire campaign that's been going for 6 years. That is us usually talking out and planning out our next move for like 3 hours, then 45 minutes of us actually doing something in the campaign after that much planning, and then like 15 minutes of jokes like sprinkled in. Like it is a lot of like high end, like, oh, if we did this, you know, what would happen there, and if we went and did that, and like this isn't combat. This is all like just out of combat interactions, because it's a really high detail, high realism, high fantasy empire situation with like politics and economics involved, and like high-end arcane stuff. Like, okay, a bank in that world, this is fully homebrew by the way, a bank in that world is like basically untouchable because the amount of arcane protection is absurd. Like a non-magical dude trying to rob a bank will just get reduced to ash within like seconds of doing anything aggressive. Throw a spell at like anything, it will bounce back at you and multiply in potency. It's real rough. Assassins in there are usually have arcane powers, will modify people's memories. We've had ones that try dropping entire stone buildings upon us. Like it is... Yeah, that's exactly it. We're playing Lord of the Rings, they're playing Invader Zim. Basically. Yeah, no, we have to deal with, like, you know, are the actual Nazgul coming? Or, you know, equivalently powerful magical, like, bullcrap. Running like at us. We spent about 6 months in game time on the lam being hunted by both the Empire and a set of these assassins. Did I make that gear bronze? I didn't make it bronze. Okay. We had to make entirely new identities. We had to like get new equipment, new looks, new identities. Had to call in a ton of favors with NPCs we had as allies. We spent half that time actually fast forwarding time inside a ruin that, you know, had weird time shenanigans going on. Which really threw some of the people hunting us down off, because we actually, as part of a one-shot, or well, it was a two-shot technically, because details I can get into in a minute. We actually did like a 2-shot playing as Imperial investigators, like super high, like we're talking like high-end FBI level dudes, as equivalents of our classes, but a few levels higher, trying to hunt ourselves down, hunt down our own party down, and we couldn't do it. We spent 2 sessions and a bunch of back and forth between sessions trying to hunt down our own party where we knew exactly where we were, and we couldn't do it. We actually ended up effectively exonerating ourselves because there was no evidence. None of the evidence matched up. It was absolutely amazing. Oh, I so wish that campaign was recorded and put online, because like, I've mentioned it to him before. Like, it feels... I think about it sometimes. I'm legitimately like sad and like other people can't enjoy what this guy puts together as a campaign. This guy's so good as a DM. So good. Even does voices and everything. He's revealed returning characters by just talking in their voice, and we like know immediately who it is, and we're like, he just showed up behind us. Oh, it's about to get real. It's amazing. We've had high-end battles recently. We had... Okay. Huge boss fight. Except it was 5 boss fights. In 2 phases. And the first one used all of our magic. We spent the entire second boss fight, which was an entire arcane war that felt like Band of Brothers level. Like, we're saving Private Ryan on D-Day beaches, and all we got is basically cantrips and our basic weapons, which, remember, I'm a cleric. I've got a mace and a shield, and that's about it. I do 1 attack a turn at level 11. I can do Holy Strike, I suppose, or Divine Strike, whatever it's called. But that's about it. That's all we got. It was nuts. So it started with us hunting down this Elder Fae, Archfey, an Elder Hag. We had to fight her, which culminated in her having me by the throat, and then me having her by the throat at the same time, and both of us are sending these massive beams of energy, of necrotic energy and whatever she was shooting, I don't know. And these massive beams like by each other's heads, like just creating new geography through the trees and stuff, because real angry a level 11 cleric wanting to kill something. It's pretty insane if you've not played higher levels D&D. And our ranger gets up from the mud where he had just been sent, 40 feet from a punch, spiraling into, pulls out a Fae slaying arrow and puts it into the side of her head, finally killing her off. And then immediately passes out because he had also multi-classed into Warlock, and she was his patron. So he killed his own patron. Brilliant. Great job. You go, dude. And there was... That fight took like 2 entire sessions, by the way. I just jumped right to the end. There was all kinds of stuff. There was parts where we got... Oh, it's nuts. People make jokes about Rangers being like not that great. He is insane as a ranger, just sheer ranger, because I don't know all the names of all the stuff he took. I've only played maybe like 2 sessions as a ranger ever in my life, and those were like nearly a decade ago. And those were at like level 2. But he has in the past like one-shot an ogre and just split his head open like a watermelon. He snipes things in the head, like through the forest at 400 feet, just and then he kills like 6 different things with that arrow. Like, his damage output is absurd. He's our main DPS, or especially our single target DPS. He's really good at that. Which is funny because he's an old man as a character. Like, his character's an old man that was just like a hunter before he joined the party, and now he's out here like just casually sniping Elder Fae. So he passes out, loses 4 levels in the process. We still haven't fixed that, by the way. We're not sure how to fix that. So Faye goes down, and I'm like, all right, we gotta get to the rest of the fight because that was the sideshow of the actual war between ourselves, the party, the four of us. Technically, we have a fifth that's an NPC, but she was hanging out back at the staging place. Which the party is cleric, ranger, sorcerer. What kind of sorcerer is he? He's the divine soul sorcerer, and a mousefolk fighter that unfortunately is like leaving the game due to reasons after like 6 years of playing together. It's very sad. Eldritch Knight, mousefolk Eldritch Knight, who's got not actually barbarian, but plays like a barbarian, like very, very aggressive. It's really funny. Actually, yeah, her and I are very aggressive, and then the sorcerer and ranger are like, we gotta keep them with a normal bounce. I'm a life domain cleric, by the way, so like super healer, but that just made me really aggressive. Turned me aggressive because everything I do heals me basically, so it's super hard to kill me. So we have to get back to where the party's allies, the entire military arm of the Imperial Arcane University, which is like 50 to 60 odd mages, of everything from, level 3 derpa-derps to the Archmage, which has to be at least level 15, 16, kind of wizard. Like, this guy's nuts. You'll know why in a minute. Alongside, a bunch of contracted druids, a full battalion of Imperial men-at-arms, which are an elite force using the newly fangled muskets, and what are they called? Oh yeah, obvious. Imperial Griffin Riders, because this empire has an air force, and it's like one of the most famous military units in the entire world. And they're all amassing in the woods to fight these things called the Touched, which is, think tieflings, but turn them into the Hulk with more magic that spirals them out based on their personality type. By more magic, I mean these things, like, a single one can, like, wreck a city in, like, an afternoon. And there's 4 of them that teamed up. Oh, and in the course of them going hulked, they completely go insane in the process. 4 of them grouped up, and I'm now, yeah, it's taking all these resources to go up against them. In the process of that fight, which, like I mentioned, all we had were cantrips. Yeah, magic rage, like, I don't even know. Like, I'm not joking when I say Hulk. I mean really Hulk. I mean, their smallest one was size large. Their largest one was like 40 feet, a 40-foot long flying worm-like thing. It kind of reminded me of that big mouth dude from League of Legends, the bug one. Not the Chogmar or something like that. Like that, but like 40 feet long. Oh, think of a dune worm. That shoots fireballs. Fireballs and lightning bolts. Actually, its main thing was that it was like living artillery, where it would shoot up these giant purple glob things that would go like 300 feet and then cause this like 40, 50 foot wide puddle that if you touched it, would start turning you into an ooze. Effectively, that's the best I could describe it. We didn't stick around long to find out the exact details of what it did to things. But the guys it hit, they had a bad time. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, like the Starship Trooper's plasma bug, except again bigger. And it flies. It flies like an Asian dragon. It didn't have wings. It just slithered through the air. The Archmage and his 2 apprentices went up into the sky into like using fly and just did like an aerial like magic combat that occasionally would see like fire bullets, fireballs, and lightning bolts just striking the ground at random as they're making passes trying to shoot it, and their firing arcs like hit the ground. So not only are we fighting the 3 other ones, which were a shape-shifting bone thing, a Drider-like dude, and a big bull, like big minotaur kind of like guy, that were all between like whatever large and the one after that is, like gigantic or whatever. We're fighting those with the other mages and the men-at-arms and stuff. Which at one point has... So the bull guy rushes down our mouse folk, pins her to the ground. I jump on him. The skeleton dude jumps over the bone thing. Like, I don't know. He was always shape-shifting, so I can't give you an actual, like, normal shape, because he did stuff like this. Jumps over us while we're all fighting the bull thing, this really close thing, and we're all, like, on top of it, under it, and, like, beating the crap out of each other. He jumps over us and makes, like, this birdcage-like shape, sticks into the ground, traps us all there, and starts, like, sending spikes, like, inward to, like Iron Maiden us. And, like, my response, where I have no spells. I have a couple scrolls gifted to us by the Imperial Mages, and I'm just using my mace and my just like fury. I'm like, awesome! Now you're stuck in here with me and I can't miss! And I'm just beating the crap out of everything around me. Bone, Minotaur, I don't give a crap. Like, we've been fighting, our characters have been fighting for like 3 solid hours now. Like, we have gone all the way down to like even unconscious and back up, like at like almost all. I think I was the only one that didn't go unconscious at some point. Like we have had a day from hell, and this was oh yeah, and I skipped over all the zombie parts. We also had a zombie invasion as part of this, where the zombies also exploded with the force of like actual frag grenades, like uprooting trees and stuff, and we had to deal with that as well. Like it was insane. This whole boss sequence of these multiple conflicts took about nearly 2 months. So like 8 sessions to go through all this. I think it might have been 9 sessions actually. It was so cool. I'm skipping over so many parts too. There's so much more going on in this. This is why I'm like, I really wish this was, like, televised in some way. Wonder if, like, maybe eventually I'll have enough, like, extra money sitting around. I'll hire, like, an animator to, like, make this into a thing. Like, here, I'm gonna write everything down that happened out of memory, like, more or less, and I just want to make you, like, have you make this into this long, ridiculous story, even if it's, like, semi-animated. Even just, like, an artist doing, like, stills, like, I could add in, like, the, animation kind of effects around it. So, I'm thinking about how I'm gonna add the light part to this. I should probably do the rest of it first, entirely. So, Nuln Oil and the weight and everything. I could go either... Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. Why I say the Archimage has to be at least level 15 is because actual arcane nukes with mushroom clouds were utilized as part of this. They didn't have radiation, but actual mushroom clouds occurred, and that wasn't the most devastating spell utilized. And like, we in that battle changed the actual map. Like, the map of the entire empire is now permanently altered by that battle. Yeah, if your D&D characters haven't spent a full minute blinded by the dust cloud following the shockwave of a arcane nuke, you have not seen arcane warfare. That's all I have to say. Yeah, I mean, fair. As I'm getting pinged on Discord, I will have to see to that later. Oh, blast. Pretty much that campaign might not be getting played this Sunday. Disappoint. I mean, I'll take it for me. I'm always down for that. Still, battles don't usually have arcane nukes. Like, the Archmage is like, shield your eyes, and then blinding white light. We look up, actual mushroom cloud, and he's like, get down, and then a shockwave hits us, and then dust. For a full minute, we are blinded. We were speechless. The most powerful thing was a you know the spell disintegrate? Yeah. Make that into a dome. A good 500-600 feet in radius. And it annihilates literally everything instantly. That happened. Yeah. So now we're going through like the cleanup operations, wrapping up the rest of the hag was part of a triad, and then there's like she has 2 other sisters. Full on what was that? Hamlet had the 3 witches. Full on Hamlet, and a couple of the touched remaining that were at in other locations. Anyway. So yeah, my D&D games are nuts. It's about that. Alright, that's no oil for all the metals and stuff. And yes, I am no longer in the copper as well. It's all pretty subdued. Alright, let's do the white. So, the white recipe, which it is actually an heavy metal recipe, wasn't originally intended for white scars, but man, does it make them look good. So, I need my size half, I call it. 5.0 synthetic. My synthetics I primarily use are Artist Loft, by the way. We're gonna be taking Apothecary White Contrast. And it's gonna be our first shader for the white, which is gonna be kind of weird because this thing's so small. So we'll see how it goes. I'm adding a fair bit of water to my brush because my contrast is getting fairly thick with age because this is a nearly done pot. There's a lot of like sediment wrapping up. Anyway, so we're gonna go around get in the recesses here with a little bit extra. Kind of like a wide recess shade. And yeah, that's it. Man, it's so small. I'm just gonna try this pretty quick so we can move on to... Alright, so this is the tricky bit of the recipe for people that didn't prepare. This is a mix. 2-1-1. So 2 parts Apothecary White contrast, 1 part Black Templar contrast, and 1 part Lambent Medium. For those unfamiliar with you doing mixing ratios, it means for every say brushful, so you do 2 brushfuls of Apothecary White, or 2 drops of Apothecary White. And then you do 1 drop of Black Templar, and then you do 1 drop of Lambent Medium. What I did for this, I took a empty dropper bottle. I will read your thing in a second, Venom. Ugh, getting congested. Empty dropper bottle. You can get them on Amazon in packs of like 100 for, you know, like $10. Then a dropper, I believe this. Yeah. So I got exact measurements of, you know, say a full dropper of Apothecary White, half dropper Black Templar, half dropper of Lambent Medium, and then shook the crap out of it for a while. Weirdly enough, the sediment dried on the bottom is sky blue. No idea why. Nothing else in it comes with sky blue. In fact, when it does dry weird, like I've used this for dry brushing before, it makes a weird gray. Bizarre. Empty dropper bottles are great when you're doing weird stuff with mixing. Like if I point this down, you can see some like previous stuff I've done where I've like needed something in a decent quantity for like single things or the same thing across. I don't even remember what this is. This might be Storm Shield. I think it's Storm Shield with some thinner. I'm not fully certain. Like this was me doing the purple on my Scar Vander cannon. I don't remember what this was. What I do that was orange. What was orange? I don't remember doing anything orange lately. What was this? Yeah, no kidding. Right down. Yeah, get a Sharpie. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. What did I make lately? I'm looking around my room. Like, what? I have no clue what was orange. What was this? Maybe because the colors changed? Oh, man. I don't even have good orange. Maybe this was a flesh tone? Was I using this for White Scar skin? This kind of looks like the skin for the White Scars, actually. Was I doing... Why'd I make a full dropper bottle of it, though? Or not full dropper bottle, but like, maybe like... Yeah, it's like down to here. Why'd I make a third of a dropper bottle of like skin tone? I don't know. Anyway, I got some more empty ones around. I don't remember why. I got this black over here. It's like totally dry. I should just throw this. Done. There. I cleaned up some. I cleaned up I threw something away. Alright, anyway. So, this is going to be our, anyway, back to what I was doing. This is going to be a recess shader. Fine recess shader. So I'm going to pop a little bit of this onto the wet palette. Nice thing about dropper bottles, you can do a very controlled amount. It's also good for putting them into airbrushes where they already have the amount of thinner you want and flow improver and everything else like involved that you want in them already like part of it, and you can pour them back into here instead of back into the original container, which is why some of mine right now are currently a little wacky. Like I have a bottle of matte black and a bottle of matte white from Army Painter that are both like very liquidy, which have their uses, but it's because they got a bunch of extra stuff poured into them. I also did that to my Nuln Oil. My Nuln Oil is kind of weird because I was airbrushing Nuln Oil for reasons, and now it's got some flow improver in it, which has made it thinner and kind of weird, but in some ways it actually is helpful. You get more control. I don't know. I'm working with it. I'm getting a size 0 sable here. It's a nice fine point here. I use Monument Hobbies Pro Sable, which Venom, I think you were there when me and Mini Ruckus was talking about, and how he actually doesn't like their sable, at least their synthetics. Maybe it was just the synthetics I got, but a lot of my synthetics went to crap pretty quick from minding my hobbies. The big ones are nice, but the smaller ones just like turn into this. Where is... Okay, yeah, you can kind of see it now. It just like hooked and frayed and just... I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, I'm gonna get some shader, which now I can get into right into the recesses. Also, Venom, because I know you're pretty new to painting. Big piece of advice for getting steady hands. Plant both elbows on the table, then some way, usually by your palms, some way, like press your hands together. Not hard, like just enough that you can tell that... I don't know how to get you guys good angles and still be able to paint this. My airbrusher. I have an airbrusher. Air compressor turns on. Turn that off. I'm very distracted this stream. I'm all over the place. I hope this is still vaguely entertaining. Oh yeah, as I remembered. I'm all over the place. Venom's big D&D message. Oh yeah, well I had two dwarf characters get into a fistfight over whose dwarf boobs were bigger, while drunk in a tavern supposed to be staying stealthy to get info on an assassin's location, and debate for another hour on opening a chest they found after defeating a bog hag. I originally read that differently. For fear it was a mimic. I finally did and found a few sacks of gold, then spent another hour fighting at the goal. It was trying to be a baby mimic. Oh dear lord. I never thought of making sacks into baby mimics. That is funny. I might have to steal that idea. I gotta do this from a different angle. This is not working. This is a not great access to get into down there. This is the lamp. Every time this track plays, I think for a split second, it's a Breaking Benjamin song because it starts with the same note. Don't ask me what the note is. I don't know what the note is, but it's the same note. Same note, same key. Hey, Dad, say hi to the internet, because you're...
Wow.
Yeah. Alright. Eventually gotta get some kind of signaling system so they know that, they know when I'm live. They don't remember my schedule, even though I've mentioned it to them many times. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, it's good to know. I could feel my back hurt already, and I haven't even started paying yet. Yeah, I know, right? Plus, I know, like, you couldn't really see him super well because all my lights, but yeah. Fortunately, he's not skittish. He probably came down to talk to me about the investment thing we're both working on right now. Do I want to talk about that on cam? I mean, there's no danger in it. It's just, I don't know. Would you guys like to hear about this crazy investment thing we're doing? It's already making me money. We get my dad quite a bit of money. Could be cool. I haven't tested it long enough that I'm definitively recommending it to people yet. I mean, he's been doing it for months, and so why I'm actually going through with it, but I've only been doing it like a week. I'll leave that to you guys. You guys can tell me if you want to hear the story at least, or not. Story it up. Okay, so Background info, relevant because you kind of need to know like what this is. Forex trading. Forex is effectively trading currencies against other currencies. So, you know, when you convert a currency to another currency, the value of the money you actually get is like going up or down, like numerically, right? You know, US dollar to British pound, and, you know, the number usually goes down because the British pound is, you know, is stronger than the dollar, or vice versa. I keep forgetting, like, what direction. It's not super relevant. Anyway, because currencies are constantly fluctuating every millisecond by tiny amounts, like super tiny decimals, you can actually trade using leverage vast amounts of currency back and forth between currencies, where you come out with small amounts of profit, which turns into, you know, actual money. Small amounts of profit, like per, you know, dollar, let's say, because they're all fluctuating like by like percentages of cents, you know, every millisecond, but they go up a fair bit throughout the day, in comparison. This is basically what Forex is. So normally you're trading like you would trade anything else, where you put in a position for buying or selling, and then you want to come out, you know, making more money than you started with. My dad, who's been doing Forex trading like as a side thing for like 6 years now, and all these different methods of figuring out how to trade and everything else. Seen a little bit of success here and there, but never got consistent success out of it, you know? He runs into this guy that made a bot. Now, as gamers, I'm sure we're all familiar with like bots that do like auto tasking for you in like an MMO. Just like that, except that's Forex trading. It does it well. At least based on the numbers I've seen. Like I said, he's been doing it for 2 months. He opened up an account in this public fund. It's a public fund that is completely run by this bot that does the trading. Okay? So the bot says we're going to put this amount of money based off the money available. Like it has a lot of like what do you call it, risk management factored in. Like, it mathematically can't blow your account. Let's put it that way. So it won't just suddenly lose all your money. It's mathematically impossible. So it puts in the positions and then pulls out, you know, closes positions, you know, based on its programming. My dad runs the program for 2 months. And in 33 trades that this bot made in those 2 months, in those 60 days, it had a loss 3 times. And the losses weren't significant. So he shows me this. I mean, he told me about when he was first going into it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I understand the concept perfectly because, like I said, you know, like WoW or RuneScape, you know, tasking bots. I'm switching over to Corex White, by the way. You know, tasking bots in MMOs. So I understand the core concept like perfectly. But I'm like, you know, keep me updated. Because I want to know if this will work or not. Because I've been kind of interested in Forex trading. It's just, I didn't really have the time to like actually learn how to do it. And like, I didn't have a lot of money to throw into it. But like, I'm not new to investing. I've done stocks before. Actually, I was good at stocks. I didn't have access to like serious leverage. So, you know, even if you make, and I have actually done this before. Let's say you trade a stock across a month and get like a 97% return. That's like crazy good, right? I've actually done this with tech stocks. Great, you went in with 20 bucks, now you have 37. Congratulations. like, yeah, I was good at it, but I didn't have the money to make it actual money. So eventually I stopped after a couple years. I also actually made a pretty decent amount of money on crypto, especially Doge. I made a good few grand off a couple $100 in Doge. I also made a little bit of money off Ethereum and Bitcoin and yada. So like, and I've been researching real estate investment for a long time now. It just, I haven't been able to get into it because it's really hard to get into real estate. But I know all these different ways of making stupid amounts of money in real estate as well. Long-term, passive income, like good, like fully automated, like great stuff. It just, actually getting your hands on property is like really hard if you don't have money. So I haven't gotten my hands on any yet. So like I'm not a stranger to any of this. Like, you know, using money to directly make more money, that's not new to me. So this doesn't scare me or anything. So I'm like, great. You know, keep me updated. You know, show me how it goes in a little while. So he shows me, and I see the 2 months. I'm like, wow, this is actually like, and he's getting like 40 to 50% of returns on this, which is like nuts, averaging 40-50% returns across a month. I'm like, this is bonkers, especially right now while the property values are still high, that they're coming back down now. Well, here's the thing. My strategy that I want to do when I'm able to get my hands on property, which will probably be after I use other means of getting a fair bit of money. Even though right now, in theory, I know how to get a property with no money down, and I can explain that in a minute too. It's the problem is finding people that will go with along with the idea, because they're stuck up on conventions about, like, you know, the old ways of thinking about risk management. But the entire real estate market's being put on its head right now, but no one wants to listen. So my strategy with real estate was going to be long-term rentals, multifamilies. The bigger the better, because they actually lower your risk. The bigger the property is, like the more units in a single property. So like one of the big ones I was pushing for like a good month and a half, I was trying to get this property. It was actually 2 buildings that totaled 10 units. I got real close to getting it too. But at some point, just everyone in the deal just stopped talking to me all of a sudden. They just didn't want to deal with my weird shenanigan schemes anymore, I suppose. Even though I could have made them all money if they just went with the friggin' idea. Anyway, multiple ideas. Multiple ways of financing. But yeah, so you get multifamilies, and then you get property managers to actually do the day-to-day running of the property, because you can get them that take a percentage of the rent that you take in, and they handle basically everything: collections, evictions, filling up units with new people, maintenance, or interacting with third-party vendors for larger stuff like roofers or plumbers, etc. Like if their staff can't handle it, like it's, you know, it's bigger than like an hour fix kind of deal. And they just take payments directly. Like it's usually around 8%, though I have a local company that it's based on your portfolio size. So if I got that 10 unit, I went straight to 6%. Like straight to 6% was their pay. So it's all about mathing out how much rent you're bringing in and what the expenses are. And you have taxes and, the property management, and then you have a few other things. And then one of the big ones is financing, because, you're not cash buying any of these. It's really big. Here's how I was trying to do financing, because I didn't have any money, but I'm good at math. At least financial math. I'm good at financial math. So one of my favorite strategies was seller financing. Seller financing is basically where you go to the property owner and say, hey, instead of me going to a bank where they're going to have interest rates of, X amount and getting higher because they're trying to combat inflation, which is why you're not getting any bids on these buildings, by the way. None. I was the only one actually going for that 10 unit. So annoyed. I am proposing you finance it to me. So you hand over the note, the deed for the building to me. And then I give you a promissory note saying that I will pay you the value that we come to agree on with the interest rate that we agree on for X number of years, and we can put balloons on it, which is basically where you pay like the entire remaining amount in like one thing, usually in like a 5 or a 10-year amount quantity, what have you. And yeah, that would be my go-to. And if I defaulted, they basically just foreclose on me like a bank would, and then get the property again. I hope I'm not like boring the crap out of people right now. Because I'm noticing people leaving. Now it could just be Twitch screwing with me. It's quite possible, but yeah, that you know. In any event, you know, it all comes down to, you know, whatever your financing strategy is, ensuring that your numbers work out where your rent is still covering everything, including the financing, and you're getting a profit at the end. And the larger the building is, the actual less risky it is for you, because it matters less if people leave or not. Single families are like death traps in that regard, because you know, one person decides they're going to move, and then they've destroyed your entire I think it's just your revenue stream, but you're now at a loss monthly. It's rough. Speaking of money, you should send me some and get one of these. Warning: this is a coffee mug, not a brush rinse cup. I'll put under this camera as well. From my merch store. Yeah, come in 2 sizes, 11 ounces, and I want to say 15 ounces. International shipping, which actually I pay for. The price you see on the website is what you get. You can find that on basicallytabletop.com or put in !merch. Now I help support the stream massively. Alright, anyway. So, okay, so going back to the auto trader, what I call it, or the bot trader. The auto trader sounds cooler. Basically, my dad came back to me with, you know, with that, and he's pumping a bunch more money into it, making a bunch more money in return. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna jump into this. I have some Ethereum and some XRP laying around. It'll cover my initial investment because it's a $500 opening account opening minimum. And then minimum $50 for every withdrawal or deposit after that. And I put in, and like almost immediately I started making like returns on it. It's a little bit at first, but like quickly growing. So I'm like, all right, I got some silver laying around. It's actually going down in value. I'm gonna sell some of that off and like over double my account. I'm just waiting for the Bitcoin to come back in, because you have to pump up the account with crypto. So I have to buy some crypto and then send it over, and then it's just how it works. But no, I'm excited about it. It's going good. I made $50 this morning, and the new deposits haven't even gone in yet. Like, it's still on a $500 account and just made $50 in a single trade. So like, it's a 10% return on a single trade, and it's going to just keep making more trades. And I'm not doing anything at all. I'm not like, all I do is check it occasionally. I'm not trading or thinking about what it's doing. I'm just letting it roll, and you know, I just woke up today and like I made $50 profit that immediately goes back into the account to boost up higher returns on future trades. So like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna start highlighting the metallics, which what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Army War Painter plate male metal. That's gonna be our steel highlight. So yeah, Venom, that's my, that's probably what my dad was coming down to talk to me about, because he probably just made another trade or the auto trader probably just made another trade or something. Actually, I can pull it up and look at it. Did it do anything weird? Oh, I gotta go through the OTP to, get back in. And that uses my phone, which my phone is my camera, so I don't want to mess that up right now, so I'm just gonna let that sit. Anyway. Give that a couple weeks of me further testing that, and maybe that would be a thing I can offer people that are interested in getting in on that, because it's a public fund that actually everyone makes more money the more people are in it, because it makes the trades based off the total fund amount and then slices up the profits based on your account size. And you get referral links, which my dad and I still aren't sure exactly what that gets you, but I mean, we assume it's getting you something. Why does it seem to me... No, it is different. Okay, it's just when it's in a big glob, the plate mail looks the same as gun mail. Surely it does something. I don't know. I'm just happy that it's making me money off the normal thing, whatever it's doing. But I don't know, it gives us referral links. Like, I used my dad's. We don't know what's gotten him yet exactly, but yeah, anyway. After a few more weeks of me testing it, that might be a thing I might, like, you know, publicly offer people, you know, running them through how to set it up and everything. Because you do have to set up very particularly to actually get in on it, but it is a cool thing that seems to be working to just make money on the side, with no effort. And it's still fairly new, so like as far as like there aren't a lot of people in it yet. So the potential profit sizes might get very big in the future. What even is this track? Get this out of here. This sounds like it might get pretty slapping. Maybe. I feel the beginnings of a nice track. Where is my tab? Why is it way over there? Okay. See, I need to get back to when my streams were actually, like, me painting a lot. Not me messing with my laptop. Or, like, weird stuff around my room. Oh, it doesn't help that I just, like, cleaned up a bunch of my room and, like, unpacked a bunch of minis and stuff. I feel like I am just meeting Waka in Final Fantasy X with this track. I wish I could relate. I've never actually played Final Fantasy. But you know what? I'll take nostalgia. Does it still sound like meeting Waka? It just went like straight dubstep. I thought so. Hey, Ghost, did you like completely disappear, by the way? You were talking about like a print or something, or was that Former? Former talking about print? Someone's talking about print. Ogosu might still be airbrushing where he's like lurking and not talking to me. Because, you know, how dare you? What I need to do is push my streaming more in my local community. I'm just not sure how to go about doing it in a tasteful way besides just... I mean, a couple of them will watch my streams on occasion, but I gotta get, be like, hey guys, watch my stream, what's wrong with you? Actually, at the, I was at a tournament at my local store a few weeks ago, and a couple of them were mentioning them watching, and while I was painting my Sakaran freehand, they were, like, taking bets, apparently, silently, without telling me. They weren't even telling me they were watching me. I was just by myself, as far as I knew, with, like, a couple of silent lurkers, talking to myself while I paint this freehand on this tank, and I'm painting Ravens Never Forget, and they're, like, taking silent bets between each other about what I was writing, because I wouldn't say what I was actually gonna write out. I was like, I'm just gonna write this and then we'll see how it looks. And they're doing this whole like betting ring, and I'm not involved. Like, how? No. I want in, man. I want to know about the shenanigans. I've been following you on Instagram for a long time and never knew you streamed. I just saw you following me. Don't. What are you talking about? I just saw the follow this morning when I got up. I can pull it up. Let's see. Oh, yep, saw the likes for new thing. Venom Rat started following you 13 hours ago. Or is it just you just saw my post and didn't follow the channel? Well, if you followed the channel, you'd know because I've been putting up these tutorials that are from the stream and some stream updates a little while back, which have the wrong times on them. I gotta fix that or something. I don't know. It's in the profile description. Oh, if I'm ready. BS ads action figure. Yeah, that. All right, yeah. I can see why I don't remember. Sorry. BS ads. I don't know how to say your name, man. I don't know how to chop that up into like a vocalizable. Yeah, nah, it broke my English. Ah, that makes sense. Now I know why it doesn't like mean anything to me. Good, fair enough. Why okay, question for you. Because I'm not one that does alt accounts. Why do you have an alt Insta? Like just actual curiosity. Like I want to understand the logic behind having a second account you have to manage. Because I already manage like so many social media profiles for like this. How's my compression still on? I hit the switch. Granted, I'm hitting the switch with my toe, so maybe I didn't hit it right. I don't know. Like to think of trying to do that for multiple at the same time just sounds like a nightmare. One for IRL, family, friends, one for my hobbies. Okay, that makes sense. That's fair. I don't have like basically anyone. Okay, I have like 2 people I know in real life that follow me on my Instagram. Do I technically follow them? They don't like post very often. One's my sister and the other is my cousin. Neither of them are into Warhammer. They both know about Warhammer, of course, because I never shut up about it ever. But my sister actually does better than me on Instagram. She does like nutrition stuff. So she's starting to become a nutritionist, and she's like a huge gym rat. Like she's got a full 6-pack. I'm not even joking. Like she looks like she could snap a guy in half. Which is funny because she's like 5'2", 5'3". I know she's a couple inches shorter than me. I'm short. I'm 5'5". For reference. She's got like 2K something, nearly 3K followers. And she just posts like her meals, which look amazing, by the way. Oh yeah. Although we're starting to get a little bit of crossover with FitHammer, who I love. I love FitHammer. FitHammer's so great. And I kind of want to start doing a bit more stuff like that too, because I've been on a big health kick lately. I think I mentioned that in Ruckus's chat last night. Since I left my ex last July, I've dropped just over 30 pounds, and I'm trying to drop another 10 to 15. I think that's all the steel. It keeps catching me by surprise how there like isn't a lot to paint here. Oh, thanks, man. Not been easy. I had to like, let's see, I super cleaned up my diet. So like I basically make all my own food from home, and it's all like, it's very much balancing a lot of protein, a fair bit of greens, and very low carbs. Not quite keto, but low carbs. And most of those carbs are actually from fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. A lot of berries, grapes, kiwis, grapefruit. So actually, my eating is good. It's delicious. But it's very clean. Very low cheating. I'm already gluten-free. I've been gluten-free for a decade, so I mean, I already had that like kind of involved. I work out every weekday. I'm in the process of upping my workout, which is why I didn't work out today, because you gotta cycle yourself up a little bit, ease yourself up into a new gauge of working out. Normally I work out every weekday. I take cold showers, and right now I'm generally in a calorie deficit, and I do occasional fasting. And yeah, it's been working, man. Give me another 3 or 4 months, I'll have a 6-pack. Hoping. I want a 6-pack. Or at least, like, trim enough that, like, it looks like I have, like, I almost have some. I got the semi 6-pack, you know? You know what? I already have a health and fitness thing in the Discord. I will post the videos I use for working out and the channel I use for workouts in the Discord, because they're all just YouTube videos with no equipment. It's just your body, and it times everything. Like you just copy her in the moment. That's all you do. I literally set my phone into the rack thing I have it here, which I put on one of my tripods, and I have it aiming down a little bit, and then I'm just on my floor, just doing the workout. And she's got ones for all kinds of workouts. Like I do mostly core workouts because it's my weakest point right now, but I'll be working up to doing some of her full body vids. So it's real easy to follow along. She's got music in it, so I pop in both my wireless, like Bluetooth earbuds, and put it fairly loud, and I just, yeah, you just follow the video. Real easy. It's like super low brain power. Alright, yeah, the brass, which I'm gonna use, I guess weapon bronze? Yeah, sure. I was just trying to figure out how I want to do the lighting on this. Low brain power is my middle name. I gotta save my brain power for all of the big brain and galaxy brain stuff I'm doing with the rest of my day. Like painting, streaming, commissions, developing websites, dealing with clients, 3D printing. Taking a lot of my brain power recently. Marketing, 2 businesses at the same time. Eventually getting around to resuming developing my merch drawings. Painting my own stuff. Eventually. And then... Oh yeah, and I'm also in a couple different debate Discords. I'm actually a moderator on one of them, which still blows me away. For, what is this track? It's kind of cool, but I feel like I gotta turn this down a little bit. I'm in a couple servers that are meant for political, theological, and philosophical debate, or in economics, obviously, because it's part of politics. These are like no holds barred, like you can put forward just about any idea kind of things. So we get some real quacks in there. Now I'm in there, fighting the good fight. Again, arguing against idiots on the internet that I'm not going to change their mind, they're not going to change my mind. So, brilliant use of time, but it keeps my brain sharp. So it's all good. If people are ever wondering why I don't have a dating life, all of that is a good reason why. I need to do most of that just so I can keep eating. To support the stream. Yeah, that was sounding kind of weird. It's a little too easy to not do it. But yeah, I don't want to be thinking too hard about my workouts is the point. I just need to know that it'll work, and then just do it, and then move on with my day. So my normal day will be I wake up, and then I do, well, I'm setting up to do 2 core workout vids, so about 20 minutes, because they're 10-minute vids each. Back to back, and then do and have a cold shower, which has a bunch of health benefits and really was one of the things that kickstarted my weight loss recently when I started plateauing on it. Because I basically fell off the boat in the middle of winter Ah, it's the friggin' transcendent wing. Nope, smooth infinity noise. Here we go. Yeah. And then I eat breakfast, which is usually egg-based. Usually with half a grapefruit, some other stuff. And I get to work. Be it painting commissions, or I guess dealing with clients, or working on a website, or whatever. Getting ready to stream. I need to make like a list of the stuff I gotta do and prep for next stream, actually. Because this stream is actually almost over. Which, if I do just a standard glaze effect on these lights, which I think will work just fine, then yeah, we can consider this light done just in time for the stream to end. Glue it on, and I'll be a successful stream, painting-wise. Yeah, I need to set up some more commands that I realized I forgot to set up. I always meant to have set up, like the Discord command. I don't know why it doesn't exist, but I tried it earlier. Clean up my room a bit more. Do some testing for the different weird camera angles I'm going to be using later. I think I gotta work on my Twitch profile, because I don't think I have anything really going on my home page. I'm gonna have this big influx of people, like you, Venom. Should probably be ready for you, huh? Alright. Lights. So the grain I already have used on this guy before. Or at least particularly the gun here is this Escorpina Green, if I'm not mistaken. It could be Hexawraith Flame, but I'm pretty sure it's this. We'll see in a second. This is pretty fluorescent. Nah, it's this. Holy crap, this is fluorescent. Good lord. Might need a little bit more than that. Yeah, that's gotta be this. This has gotta be the thing I used. I'm gonna take a size 1 synthetic. We're gonna pop this in the main light, and then probably blue and red on the other ones, I'm thinking. Try and nicely fill these, basically. Oh, I need more. Hopefully it won't be too much. There'll still be a decent bit of white showing through. And we'll deal with OSL after it dries, and we have a better idea of what this all looks like. I'm gonna use some Gilliman Blue Glaze, and if you don't have some of this now, I mean, I'm sorry, good luck finding some. They don't really make it anymore. Same with the next glaze I'm going to be using. Now, you can use inks to make these, but as I'm trying to wrap this up with the stream, I'm not going to make a glaze out of ink right now. And this one will be blue. I need to get fluorescent blue, fluorescent red. So this is going to be fairly subdued in comparison. The other one is going to be Blood Letter. Another glaze. Citadel no longer makes. And this is getting fairly old. There's not much left. I think we got enough for our purposes. Alright. So while that's drying, next couple minutes. Good timing by the timer. If you are not following, follow. How dare you? It's free. Costs nothing. You can see when I go live. Or if you want to ensure you definitely know when I'm going live, join the Discord, which you definitely can through the Linktree. Do they make glazes? Good question. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've looked at their paint store. Citadel paints glazes. Well, you can get some of them on Amazon through third-party vendors. I'm on Games Workshop right now. Let's see. Paint. Browse paint by type. No, they no longer have a glaze type. Would I recommend... So here's the thing. Their types... Well, here's the thing. Venom. All their types mean, Citadel's types, is just how much medium is in their paint. Only in their technicals do they do special stuff, like their dry paints, their effect paints, like technical, by effect paints, I mean like, you got technicals, like Hexwraith Flame. I gotta turn my camera thing on here, and so I know if you guys should read it. Hexwraith Flame or Blood for the Blood God. These are technicals. Only like these and like their basing paints, like Astral Granite Debris, which technically is also technical. Only these have like special stuff in them, which is actually why I recommend, like, Citadel does make good technicals. All three of these are pretty good paints for their things. This makes a cool ghostly green thing going on. Blood for Blood God's literally blood in a pot. Like, it's straight up blood. The blood on the Apothecary, that's Blood for the Blood God, just straight out of the pot. Nothing weird done. No, it didn't even go on my palette, just straight from pot to model. And Astral Granite is the basing I use for like basically everything. So those have special stuff. Dry brushes have some weird stuff in them to make them really good for dry brushing. However, all paints can be turned into everything else. You can dry brush with normal paints. You just swipe the brush on like a napkin until it's dry. The bases are just paints with less medium than layers. Layers are paints with more medium in them, so they're thinner, so they layer easier. Glazes is just a lot of medium, but not quite so much that it's a wash, which is so much medium it's basically pigment floating in front of you in medium. Medium is like water or a medium. They just call it medium, like Lamian medium. It's just a thing that the pigment sits inside of for you to utilize. Water is a medium. It's not a great medium, but it's a usable medium. So you can make glazes. That's why I mentioned, like, you can take like inks, which I really like my inks, game inks, from Vallejo. I love my inks. I got the ink box where you get all those inks in one box. One, it's even a skin tone I use for a bunch of different things. You can use these as washes. I use them quite a bit as, not just for skin washes, but I use like the red for blending down lenses and stuff. So like, there we go. Actually, that one mostly is just painted. Here we go. So this guy's eye lenses and his shoulder pad actually are layers of oranges. Oranges. then a top coat of Game Ink Red. And it blends it all down and makes it really saturated. And that's an example of a wash or a glaze. A glaze is just a thicker wash, really. How you would make a proper glaze out of this is you take this and put it with some laminated medium, for example, until you like the consistency. And you can do that with really any paint. You just, for example, you want a purple glaze, or yeah, so you want a light violet glaze like this. You put some on your palette, and then you keep putting laminated medium until it's not quite a wash. It's not quite Nuln Oil or Agrax. It's closer to like contrast. Contrast is not far from a glaze. It's got some extra weirdness in it to make it do what it does, but like about the consistency of a contrast paint. You put medium in until it hits that, and you have a glaze. All paints are the same thing, broken down. It's a pigment. It's an amount of a pigment, or multiple pigments, an amount of medium. And then if it's like a technical paint or something, then they add extra weird nonsense to make it special. That's based on what you're doing. Contrasts, hexerate flame, the blood for the blood god, basic like terrain paint. Yeah. So that's the secret about Citadel's paints. They put them in types to make it real easy for beginners to pick up. Like, oh, it's a layer. It's already made thinner to make it good for layering. So you can put it on a base coat and it is fairly translucent or transparent. So you can layer it on and makes, you know, it makes it easier. But once you learn all that and really start messing with it, especially with like a wet palette that makes like messing with paint over a long period of time very easy, and it doesn't dry on you super fast, so you can play with it. You can start getting to a point where like the type of paint you're using doesn't matter. You want to use, if I want to use corn red as a glaze or as a layer or as a wash, I can make it into a wash. I can take a base paint, turn into a basically corn red Nuln Oil. It's just the amount of medium you put in it. It doesn't have to be lemon medium. It could just be water. Just a bunch of water. How's this looking? It's almost dry. Looking pretty good. I'd say I'm fairly satisfied with this. I think as long as I'm careful to not mess with the lights that are still drying, I say we pop this on the mini. And then we'll call this stream as we're now nearly 10 minutes over. So I pop that right off the cork. It's just super glue, which is why I use super glue for everything, because I need to. I can just break it. And it's easy to repair. And we dry fit it, which is a little wonky because there's a bunch of paint in the way. Yeah, it's gonna need some, oh wait, no. No, it sits in there. Yeah, it sits more forward. Oh wait, actually, hold on back. Wow, I'm touching it. There. The harder part is making something thicker that's not already thick, but you can always make stuff thinner. I should say that before you read your message. I am going to need to... It's up a little bit. Okay. I need to shave some of the sides off a little bit. I need to be real careful about this. I'm gonna get a hobby knife here. Not an X-Acto knife. This is a bit sharper, but I find it a bit easier to control the edge because I have a super long, narrow edge going on. I'm gonna carve the sides of this off so I actually fit where I need it to fit. I'm very lightly stabbing myself over and over again because I'm an idiot. You know, I've only got base paints Anon, Agrax, Astrogrant, and Valhalla and Blizzard Start don't have glaze inks to finer detail stuff yet. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about glazes, really. Like I said, you can just make glazes really easily. Get Vallejo's Game Ink box. That'll handle you for glazes and also making other colors more saturated color-wise. I need to start getting affiliate links to this crap because I recommend a lot of nonsense, like a lot of specific nonsense, and I could be getting a cut of this, considering I'm selling a lot of stuff. Like I say, Pro Monument Hobbies like once a stream, or a Monument Hobbies Pro series like once a stream. Come on, guys. I spilled no oil already and haven't even used it yet. Well, you got the meme. You're part of the group now. You're in an in crowd. Everyone's got to spill some kind of shader at some point. No oil is the obvious one. There we go. Now it fits in nicely. Hard to stick on because the other drill thing is messing with me, but I'm trying to see. I'm trying to make sure both sides are about where they need to be. Yeah, it's about there. I'm gonna shove it on. It's actually been a pretty good painting stream, numerically. So I don't know if you know this, Venom, but I'm not an affiliate yet. I am very close. I have a little bit more to go. I need, like, according to my account, which has been shown to be one more than Twitch says it is later, either 6 or 7 more followers, and I need to knock my average viewer up a bit more. And this stream has definitely helped, so I thank you for that. As almost the entire stream, we have been at least 3 people, if not 5. I need to hit an average of 3 across a month. Across 30 days. I think I am gonna have to paint a little. No, it just looks like shader now. There we go. Now he's complete. That technically isn't true. There's supposed to be these little lenses things here, but those completely disappeared, and I have no idea if I even had them. Now I found a lamp, and now I have to take new pictures of this guy. And post them up. Because, yeah. Oh, thanks, man. This guy was really fun to paint, actually. It took a little while, but he was very fun. Good lord, what is this track? Above the Storm Brown Noise. Great. This is Pink Noise. Oh, I don't have random on. Why don't I have random on? I don't know. We're wrapping up anyway. We're about 15 minutes over. You guys got an extra long stream out of me. Congratulations. I usually time my stream to be a specific amount in length, because I'm juggling a lot of other things right now. If I get to the point where I'm not likely to have other stuff crop up, or just not being extremely tired from other stuff consistently, as happens to be the case. Yeah, right? Your first stream and I went over for you. I might start doing longer streams. I'm already thinking I kind of want to make the nighttime one an hour longer than I usually do, but we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to sign off. Follow the links in the chat to stuff, website, other social medias, merch. Yeah. Stuff that should have rewards will eventually get rewards, I think. Yeah, you know stuff. It's Twitch. Everyone knows this stuff. If you're not following, follow. And I will see you guys in 3 hours, 45 minutes for the how-to miniature photography with guest streamer Mini Ruckus, which I'm very excited for. And have a good weekend, everyone that can't make it. See you.